Hi everyone, it's Allison. I am coming to you today with another collaboration video. I've teamed up with Katie from Katie Cooks and Crafts and Margaret from Margaret Byler, and we are doing a bread collaboration for you. We have each chosen different recipes that we enjoy making, and I will of course link their channels and videos in the description box below. Please go check it out. Katie, I believe, is making pretzel rolls, and I have to be honest, I'm not sure what Margaret is making yet, but I'm sure it will be equally as delicious. And I originally got my recipe from Mrs. Volfe at our Half Acre Homestead. You should definitely go check out her channel. She has tons of canning and preserving recipes as well as just cooking recipes in general. Really neat things that she does over there. So I will link her channel below and the original recipe video that she did. I am making Kaiser rolls. They are super easy and super delicious. They don't take a lot of time. The time that they do take, the hands-on time that they do take, is very minimal, and the rest of the time is just a short period of time for rising and proofing, and there's no overnight business and all that. So they are very easy and fun to make. So I hope you enjoy this video. I had a lot of fun filming it. I do have a new camera, as I've mentioned recently, and I tried kind of filming it a little differently, so I hope it's not too hard to watch. But please let me know what you think about the video, and I hope you enjoy it. If you do, please give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you all soon. Enjoy! So I wanted to show you all of the ingredients to start out with. I have my mixing bowl here. I'm just using a KitchenAid, like regular mixer, with a dough hook. You can see the dough hook there. And as far as my ingredients, I have in here I have 3 cups of flour because I know I need 3 cups, but I'm gonna say that it's 2 3/4 cup to 3 cups depending on your area. Just use your judgment. You know, you want it to be sticky at the end, but you don't want it to be like falling apart, you know, sticking to everything and falling apart still. It should make a pretty good dough. So I have 3 cups of flour. It's just all-purpose bleached flour, regular bleached flour. 3 tablespoons of softened butter. I'm using salted butter. I really should be using unsalted butter, but it's just what I had softened, so I cut back on my salt a little bit. 1 tablespoon of yeast is here. 1 egg. These are from my chickens. In here I have 1 1/4 cup of warm water, not hot, not cold, just lukewarm. 1 tablespoon of sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt. But like I said, I used, this is the salt here. I used salted butter, so I won't put all of the salt in. Those are all of our ingredients, and now I will show you how we start. So to begin, I'm going to put in the 1 1/4 cup of warm water that I have. Then I'm going to add the sugar. It's just 1 tablespoon of sugar. And then I'm going to add my yeast, and that is 1 tablespoon of yeast. Sorry, Fisher's in the other room watching a movie, so. Now I'm just going to give this like a little stir, just a quick stir. Okay, and then that's all I'm going to do for that. I'm going to just let this proof now, and you want to basically let it proof until it gets a little foamy, and I'll come back and show you what that looks like whenever it's proofed. We've allowed our yeast to proof. There's a couple different terms for proofing, and proofing yeast is just kind of allowing it to work with the sugar and dissolve before you add a carbohydrate like the flour. So we've allowed it to proof, and if you can see, there's a circle of foam that's grown on the top layer of this, and that means that it's ready for you to add whatever. It really didn't take long. That was probably about 10 minutes that I waited. I would say 10 to 15 minutes wait for it to proof, and really that's all we have to do. Now we can begin to add our other ingredients. So I'm going to add the egg, and I'm just going to get the mixer kind of going here, just on low. And then I'm going to add in half of the flour. And you know, it's not glamorous, it's gonna make a little bit of a mess. So we've added in half of the flour, and I'll just zoom in here a little bit more. And now I'm going to add in my softened butter. And just allow that to kind of work its way through. I am gonna turn this up just a notch. Now it's on medium speed. And at this point, I'm gonna turn it back down to low, which is just basically like the stir. And I'm going to add my remaining flour. So you're just gonna wanna incorporate all of that flour. I'm just kind of wiping the flour that's landed on the top of my mixer. I am gonna turn this up just a bit. And I'm gonna throw in my salt. Now it's on medium. And I have it on medium-low now. I'm just gonna let this knead for 4 to 6 minutes approximately. I've now turned it back down to low to knead the rest of the way. Okay, so that's kneaded the rest of the way. Now the dough will be sticky. It is sticky. I mean, you don't want it to where it won't form anything, but it is gonna be a little sticky. So at this point, I'm just gonna take my dough hook off. I've cleaned off my dough hook. Another ingredient, which I should have mentioned in the beginning, is olive oil. You can use any kind of oil, avocado oil, olive oil, I don't know, coconut oil probably. I would stick with some kind of olive oil or avocado oil or anything like that, just because I think it works better for this. So you're just going to, rather than dirty another bowl, you're just going to kind of pick it up on the one side, and then you're just gonna add some oil in on that side. And then I just kind of stir it around. I'm gonna put a little in my hand, and just gonna work with the dough, and this will help you get it off easily. And then I'm going to pick it up out of the bowl, and you can see kind of the consistency it has. It is a little sticky, like I mentioned, but it's not runny. So you can see there's still some dough on the side here. You just wanna get that. Make sure you get that oil all the way around, and kind of try to form a little ball. Just kind of tuck it underneath itself like you would a pizza dough or anything like that. And it really will come together if you just give it a moment. So as you can see, I'm just kind of tucking it in there in the bottom. And again, I would just sprinkle a little more oil in there. You just want to make sure that the dough is completely covered so it'll rise without cracking. And just give it a couple flips. And again, just form that little ball in the bottom of your bowl. And that's all you need to do. And then you're gonna drop, so once you drop it back in, you flip it a couple times to cover it in the oil. Now it's got, you know, that nice oil all over it. And you're just going to turn on your oven light and cover this with a dish towel, just a clean dish towel. I use the flour sack towels. And, oh, did you? And you're just gonna grab the dish towel, cover the bowl like this, cover the bowl, and then we're gonna put this in the oven with the oven light on for 45 minutes to allow it to proof. Well, as you can see here, it's actually been quite a while, about an hour. I didn't mean to, but I mean, it doesn't really matter how long it's proofing. You just want a minimum of probably about 45 minutes. So, it's been about an hour, but I was in the middle of doing other things, so I had to get this all ready. But I just have a towel. This is just a dish towel, like I use a flour sack type towel, but that's just what I have. You can really use any towel. And I've sprinkled some flour on it, and then I just have some reserve flour right here for any additional flour that I might need. In addition, I have my largest cookie sheet pan, and I've covered it in parchment paper. It's just kind of remnants that I had left over, but you just need a piece of parchment paper on there to cover it so that the rolls can cook on that. Here is my dough that's been rising with just the oven light on for about an hour now. It looks lovely. You want to make sure it's at least doubled in size. This is at least doubled in size, if not more. I'm just going to punch this down a bit. So I'm just going to punch it down. You can see how much it goes down there. I've already poured my flour out on the towel. So I'm going to just kind of gather this dough and pour it out, and it should come out fairly easy. So what I'm gonna do now is I kind of have a circular dough there going, and I just want to get my dough scraper, or you can use a knife, or you can use whatever you'd like. I feel like you can't really see this very well, so there we go. I'm just gonna cut this in half, and I'm actually gonna get a little flour on my dough scraper and then just sprinkle a little on here. I'm just gonna cut this in half, and then I'm gonna sort of pick this piece up, move it a bit, then you're gonna cut both of those in half, and then you're gonna cut each of those pieces in half again. So essentially you're going to have 8 pieces of dough to make 8 rolls. So I'm just going to kind of cut in half and separate as I go along here. So there you have it. There are 8 pieces of dough there. So now I'm going to show you how to, I'm going to sprinkle a little more flour here. And then I'm going to show you how to roll or prep the rolls. I can't really say roll the rolls. So you're just going to take the piece of dough and you're going to kind of roll it in your hands so that you form a long cylindrical piece, and it's going to be about 10 inches long. You want it to be about, you know, roughly. So there we have it. That's about 10 inches. And we're going to form a knot. So you're just gonna tie the knot. So essentially there you have a knot. You've knotted the piece of dough. Now you'll see you have one piece here that comes out sort of at the front and another piece back here that comes out at the back. So the piece in the back you want to pull to the front and you just want to tuck it here in the front of the roll. The piece that's towards the front you want to just tuck into the back of the roll. So you're gonna have essentially your Kaiser. Okay, sorry, I just had to pause that. Fisher was getting excited. So now you have your Kaiser roll. So essentially this, and let's just see if it'll focus, is what the Kaiser print will kind of look like. There are stamps that you can buy to stamp the Kaiser shape on the top of the roll, like just making a ball, but it really is not difficult to kind of make the shape, and then you can say you've done it on your own. I forgot to mention that you just want to take a little cornmeal and sprinkle it on the parchment paper of your cookie sheet. I just like to do that because it is kind of how a Kaiser roll is bought in the store. You kind of have that cornmeal type thing going on. So I do sprinkle a little bit on the top as well. So this is the finished roll, and I will do another one just to show you, so that way you can see me making the knot again. But if you want, you could probably just slow it down or pause it so you can see it a little better. So I'm just gonna place each one of these on my pan. I will go ahead here and make another one for you. So like I said, you're just gonna wanna make a long cylindrical piece. This piece is kind of falling apart here, so just roll it in your hands. Roll it on the towel if you'd like. That's fine too. I find it easier and quicker just to kind of roll it in my hands though, until it's about 10 inches long. So I'd say that's about 10 inches. I'm just going to knot the dough. So I've made my knot, and I'm going to take the front top piece and tuck it in the back, and I'm going to take the back piece and tuck it in the front. And I'm just going to sprinkle this with a little bit of cornmeal and lay it on my cornmeal sheet. So that's the second one there. There we go. And I'm going to place this on the sheet. And I will just continue to do the same thing. So I have finished all my rolls, and you know, they're not gonna look perfect, and some of them are smaller than others, and you know, I guess that's just the whole idea of homemade. So they're all gonna rise though, so you really have to remember that even though I may have a couple smaller ones, they might rise to be just as big as some of the others. I'm gonna cover it and place it in the oven to proof again for about 30 to 40 minutes, and you just wanna put it in the oven with the oven light on. So I will go ahead and cover these and place them in the oven. Okay, so I had a little bit of a delay. It's been about 35 minutes past the 40-minute mark of rising in the oven. So this is what the rolls are looking like now that they've risen for quite a while. They look great and delicious. I have a little smaller one there, but that's okay. Okay, so at this point you want to preheat your oven to 400 degrees, and you're gonna bake these for 20 to 25 minutes. And they're looking great. They They're very soft to the touch. You can see there, you can see the indentation that my finger's making with them, but they look great, and I'm very excited to go ahead and bake these. So my oven has now preheated, and I'm gonna put this in, put these in to bake for 20 to 25 minutes. And then I'll show you what they look like when they come out. I've just pulled these out of the oven, and they look delicious and golden brown. I'll turn on that light for you so you can see them. They're nice and crisp at the top. That one has a really nice pattern on it. Some of them don't have as, you know, defined of a Kaiser top on them, but most of them you can tell that it's a Kaiser. So that's how they turned out. Right now, I'm gonna cover them with a towel. I know if you want them to be crisp or crusty rather, and you're gonna eat them right away, then I would just leave them out. But if you're not gonna eat them right away, then I would cover them with a towel so that they don't get hard, and then put them in a Ziploc bag or a paper bag. That is my recipe for Kaiser rolls, and I hope that you enjoy them as much as we do.